Welcome back to the Gentleman's Gazette. In today's video, we discuss the business casual dress code. We explain what it is, what it's not, and of course we talk about history. Initially, there was day wear and evening wear, and people would wear a formal lounge suit to the office. If you want to learn more about these dress codes and what they mean, please check out our in-depth dress code primer here. So how did we get from suit, dress shirt, and tie to a very relaxed dress code with khakis and polo shirts? Well, it all started with Aloha Fridays. It was basically a trend in Hawaii that was supposed to show your support for the island, and so people would start wearing these Hawaiian shirts on Fridays. This trend became quite popular in Hawaii and was eventually adopted on the mainland. Subsequently, people were familiar with it and wore it more often. Then came the khakis. Even though khakis have an Indian background, they came to the US through the British, and if you want to learn more about chinos and khakis and the in-depth history, stay tuned for a video. Basically, Levi's marketed the hell out of their new Dockers brand, and all of a sudden, those khaki or chino pants became somewhat acceptable in an office environment. At the same time, TV shows like Save the Bell and movies showed a more preppy style as well as chinos in a context, so people saw it more and found it more acceptable to wear, even in a formerly more formal office environment. Eventually, brands like Brooks Brothers, Ralph Lauren, and J. Crew caught on the trend and advertised polo shirts that would work with the khakis, as well as khakis themselves, and eventually that's what people wore to the office. So what does business casual mean in a nutshell? Basically, it means no suit, but also no jeans. Obviously, there's a lot in between, and what exactly business casual means really depends on your company and the culture. Because business casual can mean different things to different people in different companies, we created 3 different profiles. First, we define business casual in a traditional white-collar job, such as a bank or a law firm or accounting firm. Next up, we discuss business casual in the service industry or more relaxed office environments. Third, we discuss business casual in a startup setting where things are very informal. Based on these 3 types, you should be able to figure out where your company fits in and what business casual means in that context. All right, let's get started with the white-collar business casual dress code. The core piece in your wardrobe would be the dark navy blazer, as you can see it here. Because it's a more traditional environment, it's best to skip shiny gold or metal buttons. They're too naval-inspired, and stick with just dark horn buttons. Stick with a single-breasted and notched lapel look for a very normal appearance, or if you want something more powerful, go with peak lapels and double-breasted. If your office is business casual, of course you can't always wear a blazer, but you can also go with other kind of sport coats that are patterned. For example, what I'm wearing here right now would be a little too bright for these environments, so go with something darker. When it comes to dress shirts, you should invest in some Oxford shirts. They have a nice two-tone appearance to them, which makes them more casual and perfectly suited for business casual. Popular colors to start with include white and light blue. You can also go with other shades of pastel. Of course, you can also go with small checks if you want, especially when you have a solid blue blazer. You can either wear your shirt unbuttoned at the top, make sure to have 2 buttons at the max open, or you can have a casual tie such as this knit tie but Fort Belvedere, which gives it a casual look but still more formal than having it unbuttoned. Other good options for neckwear include grenadine or stripes. If you go without any neckwear, make sure that your undershirt is never visible because it has a very cheap appearance and a lot of people make that mistake. When it comes to pants, you can either wear chinos or khakis, or you can have dress pants in gray, light gray, mid gray, but not blue, especially if you have a navy blazer, because it's too close, but not the same. Basically, you want to have a certain amount of contrast, so you could have a small pattern like light gray and charcoal houndstooth, for example, or very small checks, or some twill texture. During the winter time, corduroys are okay too, especially if there's enough contrast. When it's cold outside, you may want to add a sweater vest or a regular vest, and that's okay too. It can be contrasting, but make sure it's not too bold. Nobody wants your scarlet red vest in the office. As far as accessories go, I'd suggest you skip the boutonniere. You can have a pocket square, you can go with a dressy watch, or maybe with a NATO strap to mix it up and make it more casual. It depends on your specific office. When in doubt, always go a little more formal. Of course, cufflinks are okay, rings are okay, even a collar pin is okay. With wristbands, I'd be more careful because it may seem out of place. For shoes and boots, you can basically wear anything in the color brown, reddish brown, or dark brown, maybe even tan. I suggest you go with derby shoes or loafers, maybe even Fullbrook Oxfords. And if you want to learn more about all of these shoes, check out our full guide here. During the winter, boots are just fine as well. Since you're at the office, you should always bring a bag. Avoid backpacks because they make you look like a little schoolboy. A proper gentleman always carries a bag. It could be made of leather or of canvas or a mix of the two, but leave the backpack at home and only use it when you go hiking. Next up, let's talk about the business casual dress code in a more relaxed environment, such as the service industry. If you have client contact, chances are you're required to wear a jacket, sports coat, or blazer at all times. If you're not, maybe you can get away with just wearing a dress shirt or a polo shirt. If you wear a jacket, you can be a little bolder. The one I'm wearing here right now would be ideal because it's a little lighter, it's a little more casual. I'm wearing a boutonniere with a pocket square, but no neckwear. If you feel a sport coat would be too formal, you can also try just to go with a vest because it's dressier than just a dress shirt, but less formal than a jacket. For shirts, button-down collars are good, as well as long-sleeved polo shirts. Neckties are entirely optional. If you choose to wear one, you can have something a little more brighter or something with more texture, such as knit ties or grenadine. Of course, shantungs or stripes are fine as well. At this level, denim or jeans are still not okay to wear unless you're in a very casual environment. Otherwise, I suggest chinos or khakis are your go-to pair of pants because they work with everything. You can wear jackets or not, and you're always appropriately dressed. During the colder months of the year, sweaters of all kinds are great. You can either wear them with a tie or without. Alternatively, have a cardigan or a sweater vest. It's simply an ideal look for this environment because it's dressier than just having a shirt. As far as shoes go, you should skip the tennis shoes. You can have maybe a leather sneaker already. I personally would suggest you go with classic shoes such as derbies, monk straps, or loafers in brown because they work with everything and are just a perfect business adaptive look. Of course, the bag you should have can be a little more relaxed, so it can be more canvas, could be more weathered, but you should still have a bag and not a backpack. Of course, a vintage leather patina bag is always appropriate and looks phenomenal. If you work at a startup or in an extremely casual environment, basically anything goes. Most people will never ever wear a jacket. Some will come in t-shirts and cargo shorts and flip-flops. And while that may be acceptable, it's certainly not business casual. That aside, appearances matter and people will always judge you, even subconsciously, based on the way you look. It's always to your advantage to put your best foot forward, and that means dressing up a bit more. So rather than having a t-shirt, you should wear a polo shirt, even if it's short-sleeved. Rather than wearing shorts when it's warm, consider maybe a pair of seersucker pants. Instead of Crocs or flip-flops, switch over to boat shoes. However you want, you can also go with driving mocks and a sockless look. Spice up your wardrobe, use some unusual light blue or baby blue colors, maybe some Nantucket red, and have some fun accessories such as wristbands, chains, or some other kind of jewelry that works for you. Just like with clothes, anything goes when it comes to bags, so you can have hyper-modern things in camo as well as leather or canvas. It simply depends on what you like and what's appropriate in your office. That being said, when it's cold outside, you can't just go to the office with just your blazer. So ideal companions would be a trench coat in between seasons, and you can learn more about that garment here. When it gets much colder, you can get something like a pea coat, which is shorter, but it covers your jacket and it's very warm. Or if you want something lightweight that's more fun, you could think about something like a quilted jacket, because you can travel with it, it keeps you well put together, warm, and it's lightweight and comfortable. To learn more about that, please click here. If you work in a traditional white-collar environment, having a scarf and gloves not only keeps you warm, but also makes you look dapper. Overall, for business casual, always bear in mind, dressing up matters, and when in doubt, always be more formal than more casual. When you have a board meeting, when you meet clients, or anything out of the ordinary, always take it a notch up or two, and your customers, your superior, will thank you for it. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel and you'll get more videos of this nature right to your inbox.